The UwMic10 is a wireless lavalier microphone that is more than half of the price of the very popular Sennheiser G3 set. So let's compare the two and see if the Saramonic mic is indeed a great deal or not. Hey folks, it's Jordy here for Cinecom.net, and first I want to say that I'm wearing the Mic 10 for this review video, so you can listen to it the whole time. The Mic 10 will cost you $270, which compares to the Sennheiser G3 set at $630 is a lot cheaper. But it's still a lot of money, so let's find out if it's a good bang for buck. When taking it out of the box, the first thing I notice is the build quality. It feels very sturdy. The body is made out of aluminum, which is a very positive thing. I think anyone can relate to me when I say that these fall on the ground a lot. Both the transmitter and receiver do feel a bit heavy, but it's not something I would worry about too much. When powering both of them on, we see a very bright, large display. I like this one a lot better than the Sennheiser set. Now, the Mic 10 has a wide menu with lots of functionality. For me, it didn't work straight out of the box, so expect to spend some time through these menus. Speaking of the menus, they respond very fast and work great, but navigating through them is sometimes a little mess. I would prefer a better organized menu like the Sennheiser set. But let's look at the things that this bad boy can do now. The first thing to know is that the receiver has two groups. That means you can transmit two signals to the receiver. Both of them can be adjusted separate. The only downside is that the signal is always treated as stereo. So that means you can't move one signal to the left and the other to the right. But it's a very nice feature though. I tried to test these groups by linking my Sennheiser transmitter to the Saramonic receiver, but unfortunately the frequency range is not the same. The Mic 10 works in the 600 MHz range, which is not just a different range, but also holds some complications. I'm not an expert on frequencies, but I do know that you cannot use any channel you like. For every country or region, it's a little different too. Sennheiser has an app called Frequency Finder, and when I look up the table for Belgium, where I live, I notice that I'm not even allowed to use the Mic 10. A big part of the available frequencies fall into the red zone, which is prohibited to use. And then there is the yellow zones, which require a specific license. Only the blue and the green zones are free to use, but they lay in the 500 MHz range. Now again, I'm not a specialist on these frequencies. The first search results I did mentioned it wasn't a problem using this range. It seems like it's also up for auction, and chances are that T-Mobile or something likes to purchase this. But let's go further with the different things you can do with it. The transmitter will mute when pressing the on and off button once. An LED will flash red to indicate it's muted. You even have the ability to disable this option from the menu, so that your actor can't accidentally mute the transmitter. It also has a locked mode, which completely disables the off switch. You'll either have to unlock the device again through the menu or take out the batteries to power off. To connect the transmitter with the receiver, you need to make sure that both of them are set on the same frequency. If you have any interference, you can always try one of the other 96 channels. There's also an option to automatically match the frequency to either the transmitter or the receiver, but for some reason it didn't always work so well. There's also a scanning function, but that thing wasn't working so well either. Perhaps I was doing something wrong, I don't know. Anyways, I don't find it such a big deal. You can easily set both devices on the same channel manually. Now further on the screen we have several indicators on top. One of them is a battery indicator. With some professional batteries I was able to get a usage time of more than 2 hours for the transmitter and 4 hours for the receiver. Now the transmitter has an option to lower the power output. This will decrease the range, but it will save you battery life. By setting it to low, the transmitter lasted 4 hours as well. The next thing we tested was the range. The first test was in an open area where we got around 100 meters. And at that point we were getting distortions. And indoor we did a test where the transmitter and receiver were about 20 meters from each other with 5 walls between them. The sound was perfectly usable. The receiver also has an indicator of the signal strength, just like a cell phone. And finally, the audio quality test. You've been listening to it the whole time, but how does it stack up to the Sennheiser set? Hi there, my name is Jordy for Cinecom.net, and this is an audio test with the Saramonic wireless microphone and the Sennheiser microphone. Hi there, my name is Jordy for Cinecom.net, and this is an audio test with the Saramonic wireless microphone and the Sennheiser microphone. So after this test, we can say that the Saramonic sounds a little more dull, but I must say that I didn't notice this before the comparison. So Sennheiser might have won this battle, but with some basic equalization, we can get the sound of the Saramonic pretty easy, the same as the Sennheiser one. So the verdict, do I recommend this mic to you guys? Well, compared to the Sennheiser set, the Saramonic UwMic10 has a lot more functionality at more than half of the price. Quality and usability wise, they both sit around the same level. There's only one concern that I have, which is the 600 frequency range. But if I knew that this microphone set existed before I bought the Sennheiser one, then I'd probably buy the Saramonic. It's a professional set with tons of functionality. It's not the best thing out there, and I'm still a big fan of the higher range of Sennheiser, but for $270, this is a great bang for buck. Now, if you are starting out with filmmaking or you are on a lower budget, then I suggest to watch my review video on a $90 wireless microphone from Saramonic. You can click on the card up there to go to that video, or also in the annotation here on my left. Now, if you have any questions, then pop them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching again, and as always, stay creative.